guys, I wanted to do another video explaining why we homeschool. I know in another video I stated that I was going to explain it, and I never did, and I want to post it and let y'all know the reason why. And you'll see me wearing this in a couple videos because I'm trying to get them recorded and edited and uploaded, so that way they upload in the next couple days. But real quick, while we homeschool, Kaeden went to public school, kindergarten, and first grade, and part of second grade. First grade is when he started actually the private therapy with the therapy center here in our town. He was getting out, going there about 12:45, 1 o'clock on Mondays and Wednesdays. Principal didn't have a problem with it. First grade, we got his time set to be at 2:45, the latest in the day, because he was going for 2 hours and 15 minutes on Mondays and Wednesdays to therapy, and the therapy place closed at 5 o'clock. So we got his time pushed back as the latest it could go, which was 2:45 on Mondays and Wednesdays. And I would go get him at 2:30 to take the 15 minutes to make it to the therapy place, because traffic was horrible around that time, since school got out at 3 o'clock. So all through first grade, never had a problem with it. I talked to her, explained his issues, and it was a medical reason why he was going to these private therapies. Beginning of second grade, we were going. Me and Kaeden went to open house, meet the teacher, that type thing. I was fine with it. I met his teacher. She seemed like she was all right. I explained, that he was having migraines and that, he has these issues. And, if there was a problem come up, I always wanted that open communication where she could tell me, his behavior, how it was, or what he was doing, or what he wasn't doing, or, any kind of problems he had at school, whether education-based or behavior-based, or, things like that. She was fine. I go to leave the school after it was over, and as I was walking out of the school, the principal showed me, and which I didn't explain, I thought it did. This principal, she had me when I was a kid. She was my 6th grade social studies teacher, so she knew who I was. But this principal, she knew who I was, so she saw me as I was leaving. She called me into their office right into the entrance of the school. She tells me that there was a new law passed that Kaeden's therapy would not be waived, getting out at 3 o'clock, or getting out at 2:30 on Mondays and Wednesdays. They now had to count his therapy against him. My child leaves 30 minutes early on Mondays and Wednesdays. Not an hour, not 45 minutes. I never got him before 2:30. I always tried to push it back as late as possible, so that way we can make it to the therapy office in time, and he would miss the least amount of time at his therapy office or at school. So I said, Kaeden needs his therapy. Kaeden is significantly delayed and behind even on things at school. He was kindergarten level in the second grade, and she suggested, I guess, me let him do just the therapy at school, the speech and OT. I said, look here, speech, he missed 5 weeks. Nobody got him for 5 weeks. I can't count on the school to provide speech therapy for my child when he's not being seen for 5 weeks. And that wasn't on his IEP and all the stuff that we had listed. It was said 2 times a week, 30 minutes each. 2, I haven't seen his OT. I haven't seen his OT since the beginning of first grade. This is the beginning of second grade, and I have not heard one word from her since. I said, the therapy at school is more educational based, learning how to read, learning how, grammar, things like that. The therapy at at the therapy place is more life skill based. Kaeden is going to learn how to write. He's going to learn how to button his pants, ride a bike, be able to think outside the box, working on speech and PT and building up his muscles. And I was thinking that, this stuff is not what they provide at school. He's only being provided with OT and speech, and I was supposed to pull my kid out of that therapy in the therapy office that he's doing 2 times a week, 45 minutes each session, which equals 2 hours and 15 minutes on Mondays and Wednesdays. I was not going to pull my kid, and I told her that, and she said that she basically threatened me with jail time, that if I continue to take my child out of school on Mondays and Wednesdays, then she would send it to the prosecuting attorney, and then I would get in trouble for pulling him out. I was mad. I will tell you, I when it comes to my children and providing the services and thinking that somebody is going to force me to do something that I know is not right, I get mad. My children are everything, and I will not stand for somebody who thinks that they have authority and rights over me as a parent to this child to force me to do something. So after I left, I did a lot of research online about, homeschooling laws, what I was going to have to do, because I've considered it before, but never went through with it. I was like, I'm going to let my kid, he needed the social, he needed somebody to, besides his mama and his daddy, to push him to do stuff that he could do, but was hesitant because he was afraid that he's going to fail, things like that. So after knowing that and the first week of school, when I went to go pick him up at 2:30 on the Mondays and Wednesdays, or my mom did the same thing, because I think at that point I was still working, and I can't remember. I don't remember if I was still working or not. She went to go get him, and they couldn't find him for 15 minutes. They didn't know where he was in the school, and they finally found him in the speech room, and it was way past the time for his therapy. So I contacted one of the disability advocates. We set up a meeting, and in the meeting, the principal showed her face. She was, excuse my French, she was an asshole. And we set up another meeting, an IEP type meeting, something like that, to go over stuff. I asked about the homeschooling in that meeting. What's funny was the week before, Kaeden missed 4 days of school, and I did this for a reason. We went on vacation. We left on a Friday night, maybe Saturday morning, I can't remember. We left early. He missed, we went Saturday, Sunday, and then he missed Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. He missed 4 days of school and then wound up showing back up on Friday. She tried to make it out to where I was just the most horrible parent, because I was wanting to pull him out from there, and then I also let him miss school because we were on vacation. So with that meeting, I asked about the whole homeschool, and they told me all I had to do is submit the notice of intent. I went home, got my resources together, submitted it, and I've never looked back. And the sad thing about it was, in Arkansas, you have to wait 14 days, or you can get the waiver, the time period waived. I went ahead and let him stay in school for the 2 weeks, so that way I can get, the things that I need to get taken care of before he came home with me. And Carson was a baby by then. Carson was already born by then. So I had to, get my ducks in a row before I officially brought him home. So that Friday, after he got approved, I went ahead and sent him to school so that way he can tell his friends bye. He had missed the day before, due to we had some kind of stomach virus going on at home. So I went ahead and that Thursday he missed, and then that's when I got the approval that he could be withdrawn from school. That Friday, his daddy had some stuff going on at work, so I had a meeting with the school that morning to go over the services that we was going to use while homeschooling, which that didn't work out either because I have my own opinions about why they do that and things like that. So I had a meeting with them. I went to the meeting. My kid was supposed to be at school. He's in the 2nd grade. So I went up there, had the meeting, and I went ahead and just like, you know what, I'm going to pull him out. And she's like, oh, Kaden's at school today? And I said, yeah. She's like, he was withdrawn yesterday. He shouldn't be here. I'm glad they did it without my consent. Pulled him out of school. And then, so I went ahead and I just told Kaeden to come. I just had him call Kaeden and told Kaeden to come up here, and he wouldn't come back. So I got Kaeden and as we was walking out the door, Kaeden told me that his teacher passed out Kit Kats to all the good kids in the class. I said, oh, really? He said, I didn't get one. I said, oh, really? He said, the only reason why, the only way that I got one was my friend, which I'm friends with his mom. His friend, I'm friends with his mom. He said my friend gave me part of his, so I wouldn't be, or so I could have part of it. I was like, oh, really? So the school and the teacher was taking out all this crap that was going on between me and them on my son. I was livid, and I said I will never bring my child back to my city's public school. Other public schools I might try out, but in this area, I will never let my child go back to public school. No way. After all the problems I had with Kaeden and all the things that I've heard from the teacher about how bad Kaeden was, or get this, in kindergarten, Kaeden just started kindergarten. He was in preschool for 2 years. 2 years. Never had a problem. Was always the good kid, minding, things like that. No teacher had a problem with my son. Kaeden goes to kindergarten, and it's about 2 months in. Kaeden tells me that there was this kid telling him that if he didn't wear a red hoodie, that he couldn't be friends with him. Or this kid would call him stupid, or call him a liar, or just be mean to him. Just things that a kindergarten shouldn't do. So I tried to stop it. I emailed his teacher, told him what was going on, and she said she would take care of it. Kaeden, at one point in time, went to school, come home. He told me he got pushed off the jungle gym that night. Had a horrible, horrible migraine. This was before his migraine started. This was in kindergarten. Come to find out that he was pushed off the playground, had a concussion, and he was throwing up because that boy wasn't taken care of. There was, no calling the parents, nothing was going on. But Kaden's the one that told me he got pushed off by off the jungle gym by him. So I went up there. I didn't ask for a meeting. I just went up there and met with the teacher after school. I said, something's got to get done. She's like, not this kid. This kid is quiet. I'm like, this is the kid that Kaeden says, and Kaeden says that he's the one that's doing all this stuff to it. And she defended him like I was making it up, or Kaeden was making it up, or Kaeden was the one that was instigating the problem. I found out when Kaeden was in 2nd grade that this kid was moved to an alternative school because he was doing it to other kids. So that makes me feel like the public school, his teachers failed him because they protected his bully and not him. So my children will never go to public school in this area. So I wanted to just do that quick video on why my kids or why I'm homeschooling Kaeden and when Kaeden or Carson gets to the age, he might have to go to preschool, not with the public school, but he may go to preschool for 2 years before he starts kindergarten. But I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly what I plan on doing in 2 years. He's only 2 years old, so we'll see. But yeah, I wanted to do a quick video on why we homeschool. It kind of turned into a longer video because of all the details. So I hope you stuck with it. If you could comment below, like my video, or subscribe. I plan on making more videos here in the next few days. So I hope to see you then. Thank you for watching.